D. Rose's Wolves. We're talking with the newsmakers and news reporters with opinions, perspective, and predictions. Yes! It's number 4 tip presented by Ford. Oh. Rose and the Wolves in a moment, plus the first installment of the MVP ladder. Thanks for joining us as we discuss the biggest stories of the day and set the table for the night in the NBA. I'm Jared Greenberg. So predictable. You didn't really buy the Lakers brass when they talked about having patience for this season, did you? Luke Walton might not be on the proverbial hot seat yet. However, after today's ESPN report, Walton might as well be. According to the report, Laker president Magic Johnson hasn't been happy with the team's start to the season and took his frustrations out on the head coach as Luke Walton and him were in a meeting on Tuesday. Now, citing league sources, Adrian Wojnarowski writes that the Lakers coaching staff has an acute awareness of intense and immediate pressures on Walton to deliver the franchise a winner in short order. And that is number one. It's what's happening right now.
I feel like I'm coming down here to do my job and coach, and I don't feel like I'm going anywhere now.
That's Luke Walton's response. Now, I want to take you back to July 13th, 2018. Just a couple of months ago when Magic Johnson said this quote, "I think the one thing that we have to, and the fans have to, is be patient about the chemistry." He would continue, "It's probably going to take us at least a month or two, probably closer to 2 months, to really understand how to play with each other and how to read each other, all those things." 2 months. According to my calendar, we're in week 3 of the season. Let's talk more about it with Sekou Smith from NBA.com and the Hang Time podcast. So, this is inevitable, isn't it? Like,
we knew it was coming.
They were selling patience. I mean, it's inevitable that Luke Walton was going to be the guy that was going to be hung out to dry in this situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's not by virtue of anything he's done, Jared. And you wonder, who wants this information out? Who wants this out there, that there's some friction between the front office? Why would that be important to somebody? You give him at least 20 games before you start this, you would think.
Right.
If you've studied LeBron's history and how long it takes him to adjust to a new situation. In Miami, I believe it was 17 games. They were
19 and 20.
Yeah, I mean, they were at the point where you're saying that does this season go this direction or the other? The Lakers aren't even. We just got done trick or treating. We haven't even cut the Thanksgiving turkey, and this is started. It's pretty good.
Well, you got to put the turkey in the oven first. Okay, so now the obvious. Luke Walton, nobody has said that he is going to be replaced or he is out. But inevitably, you would think the Lakers are still going to try and figure themselves out, and ultimately Luke Walton will become on that hot seat. Guess who was just fired a couple of days ago? Tyronn Lue, the coach who led LeBron to his title in Cleveland. Will we hear more of Tyronn Lue rumors to the Lakers?
Unfortunately, yes, we're going to hear about that. And we're going to hear probably a lot of other names, Jared. But the truth is there really a coach that's been out there that's been LeBron's handpicked guy? Very rarely has he had a say in who the coach is on these teams. David Blatt had nothing to do with it. That also might explain why David Blatt wasn't the coach there for very long. But LeBron's not a guy who wants to be viewed as the coach picker, coach killer, whatever. So I wouldn't imagine that he's going to jump into that mix at all with the Lakers.
Okay, but then do you expect him tonight at some point to just come out and defend Coach Walton and say this hasn't been his fault? There's no reason for Coach Walton to be on the hot seat?
He's going to be asked about it. Whether or not he comes to his defense and states it that way remains to be seen. I would imagine if he's asked about the job Luke Walton's done, he will come down on the side of the fact that Luke Walton is being asked to take a bunch of personalities, Jared, smush them together in short order and make them successful. And if you're asking Luke Walton to deliver a winner for the Lakers right now, then you should have thought about that when you put this team together, because that's not an instant winner.
Right, and that's the part of it here. What's interesting is, yes, I get the growing frustrations about being 1-3 in games decided by 4 points or less, blowing a 14-point lead with 4 minutes to go the other night to a Dallas team you should have blown out of the water. But the reason why you're blowing those games is because LeBron's missing free throws, because you've got personalities on the court that have never played together more than a couple of games. You had a major suspension right? Like, shouldn't those things take into account before you start blaming the head coach?
You would think so. You've also got half your roster is basically 3 years or younger in the league.
Yep.
And you're asking them to adjust to playing with the best player on the planet and a guy who's accustomed to playing with veteran players that have been handpicked around him. If we are to believe what the Lakers had going on in the summer, Jared, this wasn't a roster that LeBron handpicked. These aren't the guys that are normally the supporting cast for a LeBron James team. So if you'd expect there to be anything other than some struggles early on, which LeBron voiced to me very clearly, he did not set an expectation that was unrealistic for this team. He said, hey, it's going to take some time. Well, 3 weeks is not time.